Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? We're back once more with another daily Kas Kaspa and crypto live stream, and we have some interesting news to cover today regarding the Crescendo update. Kas Kaspa has officially made an announcement a few hours ago about the expected deadline, and also some smart contract developments. Some good news from Incurred Labs, but unfortunately also some hard to hear and bad news with Kaspa EVM. Truth be told, because I was let know this information through my free community, I did have a feeling this was going to happen, but it is what it is. It was unavoidable, with a fair launch project. It's a full-on dogfight out there. There's no insiders who get a little bit of an extra head start, if you will. It's a free-for-all, and unfortunately, if you cannot prove yourself worthy, you'll struggle in this sector, especially when it's open source and you can't get the funding. But that being said, of course, we've got a lot of very bullish news to cover in today's stream. Equally, some more macro news as well. Got posts regarding the current market sentiment and also the future outlook, all of which is worth covering, and also further bolsters my belief that Kaspa is going to do extremely well in the cycle and crypto as a whole. But of course, if you are enjoying this daily content, we're doing the streams every single day, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Welcome back everyone to the stream. Kryptoni, my man, welcome back. Hope you're doing very, very well. Brett as well, my man, welcome back to you too. Good evening. What's up, my man? Fan, evening to you too. Crypto Gosu, what's up? Hopefully you're all having a very, very good day. Everyone else who's joining the chat and the channel as time goes on, hopefully you're having a very good day today. Hope you had a very good weekend. Weekend was a bit slow for me, very busy, and seemingly I'm still busy today. I've been very absent today, but that's why I stream an hour later. But I'm still here to give you your daily crypto and Kaspa FOMO. Now, I want to quickly address some of the macro news before we get into the actual Kaspa news and the also future outlook of the market right now. So we have this first post here, which is highlighting kind of the current market sentiment. This is what we're currently seeing in the market. US Bitcoin ETFs has sold 7.4 thousand Bitcoin year to date. That means the beginning of 2025 up to now. Non-stop selling in the last 6 weeks as well. We've had some call-off periods, but it's been non-stop selling in the last 6 weeks. You can see here, since the beginning of 2025, all the way to now. In fact, that's just in the last month alone. Point being is, we are seeing the institutions, the ones who are driving this market, they are continuously selling Bitcoin. No wonder, therefore, the markets are struggling right now. Of course, on top of all the other macro news like the tariffs and whatnot, and also the slowing down of the economy, is to be expected, which actually, that's further supported in this post here. US government interest expenses are up 2 times in the past year. Of course, that's accumulative, but it's not slowed down, at least not just yet. And why is this a big deal? Well, ultimately, this is highlighting that there's going to be, or there is even, an increased debt burden. It means that the US government is spending significantly more money just to service its existing debt, which is why Trump's so desperately trying to lower the interest rates right now. So therefore, when they have to refinance the debt, they can refinance it at a lower cost, as opposed to, again, it being higher and them having to constantly increase their government expenditure. So rising interest rates, of course. This is also, of course, that's why you see rising in interest rates, which again Trump is desperately trying to lower, and a lot more that we can come back to later on in the stream. But ultimately, the two sources of information here together combine to showcase to all of us here that right now Wall Street institutions, they are selling their Bitcoin continuously, or frequently at least, since the beginning of the year. They've been selling a significant amount of Bitcoin and non-stop selling the last 6 weeks, and that's because the economy right now is not here. There's not enough liquidity in the market, not enough demand in the market, which is because of how the economy is struggling right now. And we can still see, and this is also partly proof of that as well. Here from No Brain Flip, a $440 million whale position on Hyperliquid is nothing but manipulation. We are seeing this continuously. Most of the trades we're seeing right now are OTC, over the counter. Point being, you don't see it. It's not obvious to see it. It's kind of, not on the balance sheets. But if you're seeing a sizable portion of money a $440 million whale position, this is them trying to get your attention. This is manipulation. It's funny how easy it is to make people sell their bag just because something is done publicly. His margin is only $12 million, trades like this every hour on exchanges, but no one sees them or tracks them, so they assume they don't exist. This public trade could be hedged on another centralized exchange, bought back from another wallet, or leveraged in hundreds of ways to profit from the manipulation. It's just fun. It's intentionally made public. Ultimately, once more, this is the current market we're in. The economy is not good. The economy right now is struggling. Now, I do think it's going to come back, and we'll get back to that. Get back to the reasons why later on. But I know the economy is struggling right now, and the trades we're seeing from these whales, there's no reason for these whales to be putting it for the public eye right now, besides just trying to make a profit off the panic and fear that will come through with a sizable portion of money being made public. So, once more, as always, don't be emotional, be logical, understanding, at least from the perspective from the sources we showcase in this video, in these streams, that the markets are struggling. Downside potential in the short term is definitely possible, but think longer term. Right now is the time to do more research as opposed to potentially risking more and more of your portfolio due to the ones who control the markets, because it's a tough market to be in, definitely. And in that regard as well, Jim Cramer, notoriously known as the anti-market, the market goes against what he says here, he said the market preparing to give up some gains. Now this would technically mean that we're expecting the market to start going up, because Jim Cramer is saying give up some gains, it'll go down, it'll go up. Now, if I'm honest, Jim Cramer, meme aside, I do think he is right in this case. I think in the immediate short term, we could expect to see some more pullbacks or some more stagnation before we see it reverse in price. Spoke about it a lot in the past previous streams. Right now the markets are looking good, truth be told, and that could be also off the back of the other good macro news we're going to get into later on in today's stream. But I do still see that right now I think we're probably due to some more sideways action, consolidation, before we end up seeing a decisive move right now. Bitcoin is still continuing to trade in between the 85 to 78k region right here. Currently, constantly trying to touch the higher end, break above this level of support here, which is, proving quite a tough challenge for Bitcoin right now. And personally, I don't see any real catalyst that's going to cause that for Bitcoin, at least right now. That could definitely change. Bitcoin again currently up 1.85% at 84k. And then Kaspa in that regard is also currently trading between the 7 to 8 cents zone right now, currently at 7.52 cents, up 2.0% on the daily time frame. It is currently trading in between the level of support right here, which hopefully it can hold. Going down wouldn't be the end of the world in my belief. I think it will come back. But it depends. Right now, it wholeheartedly depends on Bitcoin. It really, really does. I think Kaspa's got a lot of big announcements that is coming up very soon, which we'll get into in this stream in just a moment. But ultimately, right now, we are still very much in a Bitcoin dominant market. So what Bitcoin does, the markets and altcoins will follow. I've also seen posts as well, which I was putting in my community earlier, that stated that Standard Chartered, they predict that Ethereum will peak at 4k this year. Which, considering we already peaked above that, means that they expect that Standard Chartered is saying Ethereum won't surpass this again. Now, for me, that's quite interesting, because Ethereum is deemed as the altcoin market indicator. The second biggest asset. When Ethereum starts to rally above all-time highs, alts tend to follow in suit. So if Standard Chartered, don't get me wrong, Ethereum as an infrastructure, as a project, I don't think it's great. But for what it stands for, at least in this current cycle, and has stand for in previous cycles, should it not break all-time highs, that could be disastrous. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if institutions like Standard Chartered, who are, the ones who control the markets, are saying that to make people think like I'm thinking right now, which is, if Ethereum can't surpass all-time highs, how are we going to have altcoin cycle? They're going to be Bitcoin then. Yet they're forgetting, or yet they know they're trying to make us forget that we've only got Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs right now. We still have ETFs like XRP to come out, Solana to come out, the likes of Hedera HBAR likely, Litecoin, maybe even Kaspa. Whole premise being is, when we do this information, when we do these streams, it's always good to take your sources from multiple different avenues and understand kind of the broader perspective, not just from one viewpoint. Because I see the post. Let me see if I can find it, because I know I put it in my community earlier. Let me see if I can find it. But I was talking about how Ethereum, expected that Ethereum ETFs would not surpass all-time highs, which again I thought it was interesting, but I think it's more so just a ploy that has been used to try and shake us out of our bags a little bit more. Let's see if I can later on a little bit more. I'm going to get into the questions though, and then into the Kaspa content, because ultimately, it will come full circle. Ultimately, I see the markets right now in a bit of a turbulent time, definitely uncertain, going up and down every single day, just consolidating and chopping stuff. It's quite boring. But what's coming out for Kaspa and the crypto market in the longer term, it's no cause for concern for me personally. What's up, TP, my man? Kaspa now was Bitcoin in 2013 at $76, same market cap. See what happened when Bitcoin out thereafter. I mean, if we are going to make the strict comparison to Bitcoin and Kaspa back then yes. Bitcoin right now is at 84k. So Kaspa in that regard is similarly rallied to extremely high prices. Of course, that's considering therefore that Kaspa is going to reach the market cap of $1.667 trillion. Which, just for perspective, if we are to do the maths and get the calculator out, we do the market cap of 1.67 trillion, that's billion, trillion, and we divide that by the supply, which Kaspa supply, let's just say it's the fully diluted market cap, so it'd be 28.7 billion. I'll put Kaspa price at $58. So comparatively speaking, if Kaspa was to be, if at least I think I've done my math correct here, so if my math is done correct here, then it should mean that if Kaspa was to be at the same market cap as Bitcoin right now, it would be at $58, which is still, considering right now we're only at 7, that is insane. 7 cents, 7 cents to $58 is nuts. So yeah, we are definitely very, very early to say the least. What's up, Lau, my man? Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back. John Doe, Jay, you think we make new all-time highs this year or wait 2029? This year. I don't see why we can't do it this year. But Kaspa will be adopted sooner and faster than Bitcoin did in 2013, since we are in a new and more crypto-developed area. That is also true. That's also true. It's also more competitive, though. There's positives and negatives. There's more adoption for crypto, institutions getting involved, but at the same time, it's also more competitive. But I think Kaspa can compete quite comfortably in this sector. Welcome back, Andy, man. Hope you're doing very, very well. No more money from me in Kaspa today either. Hey, the markets right now, they are struggling to say the least. You haven't got to put in every single day, but either way, good to have you back here, and I'm sure the Kaspa money machine will be coming back on very, very soon. We'll see the markets go power bottoming very, very soon. Welcome back, Will Britannia again. Welcome back, my man. Hope you're doing very well. What has happened to the Kaspa Plus migration website? I'm not exactly sure what website you're referring to, Gert, my man. The website that I typically use for that, I mean, I guess it could be, but it's actually just checking the nodes, if you will, the Rust nodes. I mean, we've got updates regarding Rust today, so we can talk about that. I haven't seen the website, or at least I'm not sure exactly what website you're referring to. It's most likely, in fact, it's probably definitely in my community here in the useful websites tab. But it's just, I don't know exactly what website it is. That's all. But if it's down, I'm sure it's a temporary thing. It'll probably come back up very, very soon. But either way, the Rust migration website is not a confirmed thing. The migration website is not a confirmed timeline. It's just a rough timeline given. That the actual timeline is going to be confirmed by the Kaspa devs, which again, we've got updates about that in today's stream. It's not the alt indicator anymore. It's bad and people know it. I mean, yes, I agree. Like, Ethereum's time for me has most definitely come, or it's coming. But fundamentally speaking right now, I would still argue that Ethereum reaching all-time highs and surpassing that, or at least surpassing 4K. If it surpasses where it did back in March, because this is where Bitcoin peaked. Bitcoin peaked here, came down, surpassed that, and rallied up really, really high. Ethereum didn't surpass that at all. It regained back to the same level of just short of 4.1k, whereas Bitcoin similarly in that to compare the charts, Bitcoin rallied up another 50% in value, and Ethereum didn't gain any more. So the belief, typically for the market is when Ethereum surpasses this 4.1k zone here, that also will be a good indicator that ALT is going to start rallying as well. Now again, I do agree Ethereum's time has most definitely come, or is coming. Again, it's just not scalable, it's expensive. It completely sacrificed what it was trying to do from when it went from proof of work to proof of stake. And I think Kaspa's going to take its place in that regard. But I don't think Ethereum's been completely counted out just yet. Again, but time will tell. The only reason whales are investing in it is because they are at least a whole cycle behind on the technology. I mean, again, we'll have to see where it comes out right now. I think if Ethereum doesn't get adoption, I think due to a lot of the less informed investors in the market, I would argue that could be deemed as quite bearish. If Ethereum doesn't pass all-time hustle, doesn't pass this 4.1k, the less informed investor may be thinking like, oh gosh, we're not going to get an altcoin cycle and then just start dumping everything apart from Bitcoin. Again, time will tell, but I'm still optimistic for altcoins in general and equally for Kaspa, and I'll get into the sources exactly why in a moment. FOMC meeting this Wednesday, yes, that's also very, very true. I'm not expecting too much from it, truth be told, but hopefully it's not bearish. As long as it's not bearish, I think that's good. If they do nothing, that's fine. If they do rate cuts, fantastic. If they increase rates, which I think is very unlikely if they do that, then we're in for more downside. What's up, my man? Welcome back to the stream. Yo to you too, my man. So with that being said, getting through all of the pleasantries in the comments and whatnot, welcome back everyone. We now have got some of the Kaspa updates. We'll get into this and then we'll circle back around to the market conditions and also future outlook as well. So understandably right now, and no surprise to me, Kaspa is frequently becoming the most tweeted altcoin. It's funny how all these accounts were completely ignoring Kaspa, and now when Kaspa is near its local bottoms at 7.5 cents, it is very, very low in value, and now it's continuously being the most tweeted altcoin. Evidently the community is extremely strong with Kaspa, and these sort of AMAs are also going to help bring more adoption to Kaspa as well. It's just a general AMA with the Kaspa team so much. Here you got the likes of Luke, who's attending here as well. You also got the likes of Cat Daddy Crypto Pumps. You got Bitcoin Hoodie Guy and Black Tiger Miner. There was a 2-hour 15-minute AMA that happened right here, which I have not had the privilege of listening to just yet. I've got so many videos to watch. So I've got this. I've got all the Plan K videos that were sent to me by you, Kryptoni, that I still haven't had the chance to look through. Been very busy right now. So tomorrow and the next few days is going to be one hell of a mission for me. But I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to all the knowledge I'm about to learn, hopefully. But yeah, another great interview here, which you can definitely go check out. I'll leave a link to this down below, or in my community even. The great Kaspa educational moments, of course, that we try to do here as well. Topics here include Kaspa mining, Crescendo, adoption, ambassadors, branding, community, real world use, and so much more. And we're going to get into a little bit, of course, in this stream today as well. So first off coming is the Crescendo update here from Kaspa. PSA for Kaspa integrators, Kaspa will undergo a hard fork to 10 BPS late April. So whereas we've been speculating late April to early May, it seems that Kaspa has kind of reinforced the stance of it will be late April, unless something goes wrong. Touchwood, hopefully it doesn't right now. But late April should be when we get to the 10 BPS migration to having the Crescendo hard fork, the 10 BPS hard fork onto the mainnet, which is confirmation effectively of how much more superior Kaspa will end up being in regards to confirmation times and speed. Now, I did cover a post yesterday here where Shai try to fix the common misconception that 10 BPS will make Kaspa 10 times faster. It's not exactly like that. What's to understand that will make Kaspa significantly faster 10 BPS, and with the larger players like exchanges, it will make it pretty much 10 times faster in terms of speed. And of course, with the release of Dagnite, it will just level Kaspa 10 BPS up to the next level, because it can also, fluctuate and improve with latency as well. It's not bound by latency. But yes, that's what's currently happening with Crescendo right now. It's obviously going to be an upgrade that will increase block rates and transaction throughput to ensure system stability. We highly recommend testing your stack on testnet before the fork to verify it can handle the higher throughput. Testing in advance will help ensure a more seamless transition and optimal performance for your Kaspa integration. And of course, you can reach out to individuals here if you need any help with that. So this goes down to, this message effectively goes out to all exchanges, to all liquidity pools, to all wallets, and also to all node operators. These are the people right now who need to pay attention to this post and make the necessary adjustments before the hard fork Kaspa. Right now, they are giving the community, the necessary individuals, a month and a half, giving you, 45 days to make sure that you adjust accordingly before the hard fork, because otherwise you will be running on old software and it won't work. But again, month and a half away till Kaspa makes history, one of many very important catalysts coming through very, very soon. Next is regarding smart contract. This is a bit of bad news, but don't worry, we've got some good news to follow that as well. So bad news here, unfortunately, Kaspa EVM have just announced that they have decided to cancel the Kaspa EVM project, which was also their goal to bring smart contracts, to bring a ZK EVM to Kaspa as well on its layer 1. This decision was made due to the lack of financial support needed to start complete the project. Our initial goal was to present our idea of creating a Kaspa smart contract sidechain to the KEF. We initially believed that this fund was intended to support useful projects built on Kaspa. We assumed that smart contract would align with the type of project the fund invested in. However, that does not seem to be the case. It is our fault for not understanding what the fund invests in and what the fund does not invest in. So ultimately, it depends how you read this. I'm not reading this in any malicious way, but it could be taken that way. Ultimately, the Kaspa EVM is kind of saying here, we were going to build smart contracts on top of Kaspa, and we are going to reach out to the KF for funding, hoping that it would align with their visions and what they wanted. And seemingly, the KF has not supported the funding of Kaspa EVM, and they've not found any other source of funding right now. So Kaspa EVM, they are not going to be releasing smart contracts, which is what it is, right? It is what it is. Catherine Satz highlighted it and reached out to him saying, have you thought about building a decentralized application on one of the other layer 2s, such as Incurred Labs or Casplex, more manageable, and you can fund yourself with a token potentially, rather than just making a whole layer 2 yourself? And Kaspa EVM stated once they launch, that is something we can explore. So they haven't completely given up. They just stated that instead of having their image and their goal of making their own layer 2, their own smart contract sidechain, there's a potential they may just start to jump on board of the existing ones coming out very soon. Because again, there's still more coming out. You've still got the likes of Incurred Labs, Project Sparkle, and Casplex, all of which that are going forward with building smart contracts on Kaspa as well. Now, there is a point I want to make about this as well, which is something that, again, we spoke about briefly in my community earlier. We are highlighting that it sucks, of course, hearing this. It's not ideal. It could be deemed as bearish as well. But at the same time, I don't think it's the end of the world. And equally, I would argue that it was expected, right? The way that Cody put it in my community is, this is the beauty of a free market / open source code. And I agree with him. Because if somebody can do something better, cheaper, and faster, then, you have no choice but to move on. And evidently, the likes of Incurred Labs, Casplex, and those lot were able to do something cheaper and faster. And that's also the benefits of, Incurred Labs, for example, the core team behind Incurred Labs, some of them worked for DAG Labs, the initial team that focused on building Kaspa. So they already got the knowledge and expertise needed. So they already know they could do it correctly. Casplex, well, they're in direct correlation to the KEF. So in that regard, then, I don't necessarily think you need to have Kaspa EVM as well, which is maybe what the KEF are thinking about, because KEF obviously are there funding and supporting Casplex. And of course, Project Sparkle seems to be in direct link to Crypto Aspect, who's building that, or I believe one of the core developers. Now, in that regard, so yeah, Kaspa EVM is not going to be here, which is definitely it's not ideal. But again, as Cody highlighted, and I agree with, is the beauty of open source. It's the battle of the fittest right now. It's ultimately who can make the best technology, who can support. I mean, that's what the whole space is about in general right now. Right now, this space is very much hype driven. It's about, who has the better partnerships, who has the better, ICOs, VC backing, whatever it may be. All these proof of stakes out here, they're pretty much all the exact same with a new name and logo slapped on top of it. Kaspa's trying to build something really, really innovative, and you need to be the top of the top to seem to be able to compete, and it's not going to be any different when Kaspa's adoption goes more and more. So I do hope that Kaspa EVM are able to figure out some form of alternative. Maybe they will end up onboarding or building a decentralized application to hedge and build onto another layer 2. Maybe they do that. I hope they do come back, because they seem to be very passionate about the bill, but right now they're taking a step back. But again, I mentioned about the expertise. Here we can see incurred Labs, they are one of the 3 that are now bringing smart contracts to Kaspa, and it's evident that their expertise is another level above seemingly what Kaspa EVM was. They made a whole post here, an article talking about building a fair distributed economy, incurred Labs approach to MEV. Whole post here talking about, a lot of factors in here, a lot of factors today. Let's talk about MEV, minor or maximum extracted value. It's a tricky topic as it intersects technology, economic, and even philosophy. The TLDR, because I'm not going to read it, this is very, very technical, or at least it can look very technical, so to make it a bit easier to understand. Ultimately, this post talks about MEV again, in the context of decentralized finance, DeFi, and how IGRA will be utilizing Kaspa's technology to mitigate it. So it talks about DeFi and AMMs, also known as automatic market makers. Obviously, DeFi allows for decentralized token trading using AMMs. And AMMs use formulas, which is what's highlighted here, use formulas to determine token prices, but this can lead to slippages and exploitation. MEV and front running. MEV is when miners manipulate transaction orders to profit. We've already seen that in the past. I saw a post, I might have retweeted it, I cannot remember, but it was regarding Uniswaps. And Uniswap, you saw a situation where there was an MEV situation where, the miner was able to manipulate the transaction order and make profit off it, so the actual transaction was lost effectively and the person lost his funds. So this is obviously through front running. It was a front running situation, or a sandwich attack. The different formulas or different methods you could use to, manipulate the transaction, or a MEV attack, if you will. And of course, this harms regular users by increasing transaction costs. So if the miner can take advantage of the ecosystem, they can effectively ruin the whole ecosystem, the whole chain, and people who use the chain just for general transactions. So incurred Labs in this post here ultimately highlights their approach. They believe MEV is unfair, and they don't improve network security, which again, Kaspa themselves, they're already trying to be MEV resistant. So by using Kaspa's block DAG architecture, the structure, IGRA inherits MEV resistance, as transaction costs are processed transactions in general, they are processed in parallel, and order is not controlled by a single miner. It's controlled by a whole network of them. This parallel processing makes it nearly impossible. It's not always impossible, but near impossible to front run and to take advantage of it. And they also want to promote a fair auction system to pass MEV value back to the users instead of the miners. So ultimately, this will benefit many people in the community, especially the miners as well, because IGRA's increased transaction volume will benefit Kaspa miners through the higher fees, which in turn strengthens the Kaspa network. This whole post here, which I'm going to, leave in the community once more, in my free Discord community, go check that out again, links in the description, chat also on my homepage. This whole post from incurred Labs basically just goes into a lot more detail about MEV resistance and whatnot, and ultimately how MEV is one issue that is quite frequent and can occur in any ecosystem, with miners who are trying to front run and just take advantage of transactions and just steal the money effectively. But with Kaspa's block DAG architecture, it becomes near impossible because it's MEV resistant, because blocks run in parallel. And what incurred Labs are also trying to do is they're going to increase transaction volume thanks to what they're building, their layer 2 bringing smart contracts, so therefore increasing transaction volumes, which means there'll be more benefits to Kaspa miners with higher fees, whilst also protecting those who are trying to transact on Kaspa as well. That is one of a whole list, a whole plethora of advantages that Kaspa has as opposed to any other project in this space that will be highly sought out by institutions, by projects, by developers, by users in general. While the chance is not always guaranteed, not necessarily high, there's always a chance that when you're sending transactions back and forth on chains, it can just go. There's a reason why whenever I'm transacting my funds, which is not too often, and again, because I keep it on in a cold storage when I'm doing my trades that I do, which I also talk about trading a lot more in my community here, my paid community here, which again you can do for 7-day free trial, cover a lot in there. Ultimately, I don't do a lot of it, but when I do trades, there's always an inherent risk that I may end up getting my wallet address wrong, or again I end up getting front run. So no matter what, every single time I always, just for safe keep, for my own safe mind as well, I always do a very small transaction first, and then I send the actual amount that I want to send to the destination. But again, when Kaspa's layer 1, when their architecture, when their infrastructure, their ecosystem is fully developed to a stage where it could be utilized and integrate and be interoperable with multiple other chains, from Ethereum to Solana to Bitcoins to XRP ledgers and so on and so forth, there'll be no reason for me, and I imagine many people, to use any other platform besides Kaspa's, because it's going to be much more secure, not just with decentralization, but also with MEV resistances, which not many, if any, other project in this space actually has or proven to have. Of course, then it'll also be scalable thanks to 10 bps as well, so it can compete with speeds to other chains as well, whilst also being cheap. And then also it is it's secure. So yeah, it's it's a trilemma solver. We know that much already, but that's the benefit. MEV resistances give it. MEV resistance is only possible thanks to it being a block DAG, which at the base level, to my knowledge, at the base level of all crypto projects, everything is in DAG format, in the sort of web. But because it's messy, a lot of other chains, just to streamline the process, they just basically caused it to be in a chain, not a DAG. But Kaspa, of course, figured out a way to work around that, and that's why Kaspa is deemed as the first ever block DAG, to actually be able to confidently and handle parallel blocks at the same time. So this is, again, whilst Kaspa EVM falling off, which is sad to see, one of the 4 smart contract initiatives who are trying to bring that to Kaspa, one of them had to fall off due to lack of funding. The 3 that are coming through, they know what they're talking about. They have the expertise, they have the accolades, and I think they're going to bring a lot of big things to Kaspa. Incurred Labs, I'm very excited for. We have currently got a devnet out for Kasplex. I'm sure Incurred Labs are in the process of bringing their one out, and then there'll be a public testnet coming out very soon as well. MEV resistance is just one of many reasons why I am bullish on Kaspa, why I'm looking forward to smart contracts coming to Kaspa with 10 bps, with stable coins as well, because it'll make Kaspa such a more complete chain. There'll be no reason for me to use any other chain, especially with all the integration with other projects. When you see more developers building into a Kaspa, you have the connections to, you're going to get very quick connections to the likes of Solana and Ethereum with EVM and Sol EVM, or Sol VM, Solana virtual machine. And then you'll see probably stuff with Bitcoin as well. I imagine with XRPs as well. Kaspa's goal is to try and be interoperable with every other chain, and that is a benefit. That's something that is sought in high demand by institutions. Right now, many institutions are building on Ethereum because it's very interoperable with other chains, not because they like Ethereum. XRP, they have a side chain with Ethereum as well. You've got many chains that have Ethereum compatibility, and Kaspa's going to do the very same thing as well. So that is very, very positive outlook for me for Kaspa going forward. Very, very positive outlook for Kaspa going forward. Right now, Kaspa again down to 7.5 cents. I think Kaspa again is, while we say it quite frequently in this channel, it's just a belief of mine that it is primed for a rally up. The market right now is not. The market is seemingly looking to come back in the next couple of months or so. And then with what Kaspa is building, and the timing of the developments as well, 10 bps going to be coming out late April. That is 6 weeks away from now. I've seen posts and confirmation from the likes of Oyson Lee, who's part of the Kasplex team, CoinPower.io, and equally many more, who seem to suggest that we'll be seeing some form of smart contract integration / even stablecoins as well by Q2 as well, or in Q2 as well. So potentially before the end of June, we'll see 10 bps on the mainnet, followed by smart contracts, followed by stablecoins. So all the main applications for Kaspa will be ready by then, and that will be just in time for the bull cycle when seemingly the rally looks like it's going to be starting in and around Q3. And then you've got Dagonite as well. That's going to make 10 bps even more complete, as covered here from Shy. A lot more to cover in today's stream, as always. A lot more to cover as well. Chaos Trinity will come back, so I'll get to that in a moment as well. But ultimately, yes, things are still looking very, very bullish to me. I'm not worried about Casper at all. And crypto, more downside short term, sure, we'll get back to that in a moment, but long term, looking very good in my belief. Again, not financial advice, do your own research. Sold my Mind Pi coin for more Casper. A big up my man. That is very, very good to hear. I know Pi coin right now, arguably it's quite a smart thing. I think a lot of people are trying to do that. Pi coin coming in at number 11 on CoinMarketCap, valued at $1.34. Of course, it made a massive comeback following, the current developments. Everyone's, started mining it and selling it and whatnot. It's crazy to see, honestly. Crazy to see. And I know I had people who I knew who tried to also pass the KYC to be able to extract it and also sell their Pi coin when it was, nearing its $2 region right now. Again, is Pi coin a great asset? Up for debate. I personally don't have much belief in Pi coin. But, if you're a miner, want to make some quick profit and you were able to mine Pi coin for as long as you did, some people were mining it for years, then, you made a quick buck, hopefully. So that's good for you guys. Do you think the bottom is in? I'd like to believe so. My current standpoint, again, the problem is anything's possible in this market. Fundamentally, anything is possible because we could see just kind of no news, so just kind of a very boring, chopping size market. We could see, God forbid, touch wood, a sudden outbreak of war. The Ukraine and Russia conflict, or even somewhere in the Middle East, it just starts to spark out of nowhere, and that will cause severe backlash on the market, especially with how fragile the economy is right now. For me, the only way that this cycle concludes is bull cycle, because right now it's a bear trap for me. It's still a bull cycle though. The only way this bull cycle concludes and just falls off early, it's either we get a confirmation of a recession or World War III. And for me, both are not going to happen. Of course, I cannot predict those sort of things, but I would like to believe that the bottom is in. My eyes are going to be peeled on the Wednesday, where you have the next FOMC meeting and all the other inflation data that is still very important to note when we're looking towards the markets and how they're reacting. For me, I would like to believe this is the bottom for Casper, though. It just seems to be, I think, worst case, Casper comes back down to touch this level of support down here, which is around 5 cents exactly. It stopped at about 5.3, 5.6 even. It stopped at 5.6. So if it came back to 5 cents exactly, that might be the absolute bottom right now, but time will tell. I'm still convinced that Casper, again, think about what's coming for Casper still. You're getting the adoption coming through more and more big accounts starting to, post about it, whether it be that being shilled about it or whatnot. They're starting to cover Casper when it's so far down. 10 BPS coming out in 6 weeks. You've got smart contracts and potentially scalable coins coming out in a similar time frame as well, or going into Q2, more Q2 as opposed to early Q2, which is that April is. You'll have tier ones that will likely start listing when the market starts reversing or following all the Casper catalysts. It depends. A lot of people believe that Binance will list following 10 BPS, and while there is a belief of such, and I kind of agree, I'm also being more conservative because I think 10 BPS is going to be a very, very big catalyst for Casper in regards to what's going to come following it, but it's a foundation block for me. So I think Binance are likely going to want to launch and list Casper when the markets are starting to run up again, or potentially you have the developments like smart contracts and 10 BPS causing Casper's value to retrace and rally back up to the 13-14 cents zone around here. And if that happens, well, as Andy has shown me already, and we've shown it in my free community once more, the speculative wallet being Binance's wallet, number 2 now, their average holding of Casper, their average price entry of Casper is around 12.1 cents. And actually saying, of course, it being Monday, this scooped up some more Casper again today. So actually it would have gone down probably around 12 cents now. We've got another 7.5 billion Casper from the number 2 wallet now. They do it every Monday, every Thursday, so it's no surprise in that regard. They're slowly but surely accumulating more and more. And if that is Binance's wallet, then, their average right now, this wallet average right now is about 12 cents. So that's Binance's wallet. Maybe they lift when the average is finally, the price of the Casper is above their average, following, in unison with all the developments coming out, 10 BPS, smart contracts and stablecoins, or maybe they wait for the official reversal of the rally, the green light, which will probably come later on following all the other macro news when the economy for the United States starts to stabilise and we get more rate cuts. Think 5 2 cents and even somewhere with Casper is possible? Maybe. I mean, again, time will tell. I'll be surprised, but at the same time, it wouldn't bother me either way. Regardless of 7 cents or 5 cents, it's a tremendous opportunity to enter into Casper. I also agree with that much. I think Casper is in a prime position right now to make some significant gains from here. I remember hearing that in 21. I mean, yeah, true. We did say a very similar thing that far back as well. And, back here as well, that was an amazing opportunity. Those who got in back down here, it's insane. Massive gain from there, over 3-4x. Difference is now is that when Casper does to rally back up again, my belief it will quite comfortably surpass this level of resistance. I mean, I say comfortably, it's definitely a strong level of resistance here. But with all the big developments coming up for Casper and also the institutional adoption going to flood back in, I want to believe that Casper can comfortably break above this in this cycle. Of course, not financial advice. Again, do your own research. What's up, Art Zero, my man? Welcome back to the stream. You're doing very, very well. Leave a like. Yeah, as always, if you enjoy the streams, every single day, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. The way they build the layer 1 will get the correct reward. Then more miner, more hash rate, more security, more value, more adoption, and a step to Kitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, I meant Bitcoin. 2026, we will be laughing about this 5.5 cents Casper price. And we went down to 2x 1 hour ago in long in, hope to get back 3x in 0.7%. I mean, yeah, ultimately, I agree that we will definitely be looking back and laughing on this in the years to come, or even in the months to come, truth be told. I don't think capital reversal is that far off, considering the market right now is stagnating, it's going boring, and we've already seen in the past how Casper can just rally against markets, so there's nothing saying that Casper can't do it again. I'm currently being more conservative, so I'm not going to say it will do so. I don't believe it will do so. I'm just highlighting the possibility that it may very well do so anyways, because Casper's proven to do so already against the market trend. I covered it in my post yesterday, my stream yesterday, when we talked about that Casper right now seems to be starting to rally against the other crypto assets that are out of the top 10. And with what's coming out, we've got testnets coming out this month, the 10 BPS coming out next month, smart contracts full release coming out sometime in Q2, seemingly according to Oyster Lee, at least for Casper's side of things, and stablecoins similarly coming around that time, maybe May, according to Johnny. And then Dagonite coming out later on. I think things are looking up right now, truth to be told. And that will also see the reversal and the revival of the KRC20 projects as well. Nacho here highlights the official partnership with ZellaSwap, which is very, very good to hear, because ZellaSwaps, they are someone who is been advocating that they're going to be building a DEX on top of Igra Labs' Layer 2, and I've seen some information, some form of videos from it, and it looks very, very good so far. The first true DEX on Casper. We've seen a lot of DEX that have been coming through, like third-party DEXs that have seemingly all been a little bit scandalous, a little bit untrustworthy. This is going to be the first one that's going to be built on Casper. And they're also going to be helping with natural NFTs as well, and all this sort of stuff. It's very, very good to see. And that's also great for Igra Labs. And, Igra Labs getting off the bat straight away with some good, the biggest KRC token and the first DEX coming on it could be a very good adopter. It could get a lot of adoption coming to Igra Labs' Layer 2 quite quickly onwards. Now, in that regard, before I get into the macro news, we've got this post here from Dan Fox, ultimately highlighting that Mexi, apparently, when trying to withdraw his Casper funds to his cold wallet, he is encountering the issue of, being unable to withdraw. Now, I cannot confirm or deny what's happening here. Ultimately, it just happens. This is what happens with exchanges. Exchanges happen, and it happens every time and every now and then. But it's ultimately once more highlighting this sort of situation happening right here can very, very easily happen at the peak of the bull cycle when the market starts to also go through a correction. Everyone's trying to take out their assets to, save some money. Exchanges like Coinbase have publicly commented that, they will just freeze assets they've got enough to hold on. So think about it. When Coinbase is Casper, you have people buying Casper on Coinbase and they've left it there. When potentially we see a market correction, let's just say, for argument's sake, Casper reaches $10 this cycle, we go through a correction, Casper comes down to 50 cents. So we go through a massive correction like that. just argument's sake, Coinbase trying to save their own liquidity can very well just freeze the transaction on Kaspa, freeze your wallets. Now the problem with exchanges, they're centralized authorities, they don't have your best interest at heart. That's why I have a cold storage wallet, that's why I have a Tangent wallet to safekeep my assets. So again, everyone knows about MEXC and their manipulative behavior, so just be very wary whenever you're trading in crypto. Of course, do your own research. But ultimately, I'd say Kaspa right now is still holding relatively strong. A lot of things are, boiling up right now. I use the analogy that Kaspa is like a boiling pot of water, and you've got currently just a tap that's slowly filling it up, and the water's starting to slowly fill over a little bit more and more. And despite this seemingly bearish news here, I'm not too worried. If anything, I think I expected it because they hadn't received funding. We heard no updates from Kaspa EVM for quite some time. Since February, so a whole month they heard nothing from them. And now they've announced today they had to stop, which is unfortunate, but again, as expected. But Incurred Labs are here, building a lot. The DEX built up by Incurred Labs is also part of KLC20, which is also good to see. So ultimately, I think Kaspa is still building up, and again, 10 is not far off either now. And the market, again, equally not doing too bad in my belief. Again, struggling right now, as highlighted from, how much Bitcoin ETFs have been sold so far year to date. The fact that the government interest rates are expensive up 2 times in the past 5 years, highlighting once more how bad the economy is right now. How we're seeing evident manipulation happening right now when a lot of these whales will start trading, of course, OTC, but over the counter, so that you can't see it on the balance sheets. But when they do sizable trades here, $422 million trades, it's just a way to quite evidently make you bearish and shake you out of your balance, to manipulate your thought processes. So that's why, again, you'd be very, very careful. And then Jim Cramer, of course, the laughing stock of crypto, also highlighting that the market is preparing for giving up some gains. Definitely possible. I'm not highlighting it's not, but I would like to believe, at least in the long term, this is not the case at all. Because here, from this flash from Primal here, Bitcoin Golden Cross is here, Michael Saylor. Every time this beast awakens, the market bends to its will. 2016, 135% up was a warm roundup. We saw in 2017 a 2.2k% a melt-facing rally. In 2020, we have seen a 1,190% rally, which is escape velocity. Right now, we are just entering this sort of golden cross again, which could be potentially an indicator that the market's going to start rallying very, very soon. So potentially this could be, again, the Jim Cramer effect of him saying we're going to see some more corrections very soon. But actually, we've just gone through the golden cross, which therefore means we start seeing some rally very, very soon. Although, again, time will tell. I don't think the markets right now are really ready to rally. Again, depends on the FOMC meeting coming in a few days, but I don't think they're necessarily ready to rally just yet. I think you'll see some more size action for the next couple of weeks before we start seeing a significant volatile rally, at least. No confirmation such as yet. And then saying that, this could also potentially be the spark for such as well. Apparently Trump is set to speak with Putin regarding the Ukraine peace deal, with a potential announcement on Tuesday, so tomorrow. And Trump has a very good chance of a deal. So hopefully, this is also probably the markets are currently running today. So this potentially could also coincide with the golden cross here and lead to another extreme rally, should we get a very positive announcement tomorrow on Tuesday regarding the current situation with Russia and Ukraine, a peace deal, because that would be a very big thing. And also it would definitely also probably reignite more faith in Trump and what he's doing right now. Everyone's kind of very uncertain. If you can do that, people will definitely start running behind a little bit more again as well. More good news here, the global liquidity is entering the next bullish phase in the long-term cycle. So what we're seeing right now are very small nuggets of information. Some of them are bigger than others, of course, like the Putin and Trump and the peace deal, potentially. We're seeing constant nuggets of information that suggests that, short term we may see some more choppy sideways, maybe some more pullbacks, but long term things are still looking very, very good, very, very bullish. And with that as well, Binance Exchange have now also announced 0 fee trading for all pairs in Binance wallets from now to September. So, potentially Kaspa can also benefit from that should and when they get listed. Right now, the market are seemingly preparing for a lot more adoption. This, for me, is a very good strategic move here from Binance to say we won't charge you. you lose our wallet, get more to their thing, and it'll bring more demand, more people who are, not used to transaction fees, more early adopters to come and buy this very, very quickly as well. So ultimately the market, I think, is preparing for a move up. I'm still personally expecting some more choppy movement for the next few, maybe leading into the end of March, maybe going into April, seeing more like kind of around this zone, but then going into April, starting to go into May as well, you'll start to see, I would like to believe, not financial funds, of course, I'd like to think you start seeing a small rally with crypto and Kaspa, because there's belief that, the economy right now is slowing down, but inflation's coming down as well. So therefore, there's a prime time to start issuing rate cuts, which is going to start bolstering the economy, bringing the markets back up again. We could potentially see a chance of that in April, depending on situations and whatnot, and the tariffs and developments, but equally, we could see it, more people are speculating when that's going to be in May. But of course, time will tell. Markets right now, again, still early doors. I'm not worried right now. I took a 3x long on Kaspa at 5.8 cents, and at 8 cents, rolled my profit to lower my liquidation price, letting it run for now. I love to hear that crypto goes to my man. Very good trade to hear. Keep going, my man. That's a very possible trade. What, the 40%? 3x, so yeah, 150% or so. Very, very nice, my man. Keep going, my brother. Was entire last year a whack-off distribution phase? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I would say the entire last year was just Kaspa. Basically, was just a mass. The way I view it is Kaspa, all the way up to all-time high, had a lot of hype and FOMO. But after that, when the market started going through a bit of a correction, and there was not enough volume left in the market, so to speak, Kaspa went from the FOMO-driven to the kind of utility needed now. FOMO can't drive Kaspa to that level anymore. That's why you see Kaspa holders are immune to FOMO now, effectively. People constantly say, "Oh, why did 10 bps not cause it to pump? Why did this Binance listing, a rumor, not cause it to pump?" Because we're tired of the FOMO. We don't care about FOMO. We want to see actual use case coming out now. So I'd argue this last correction here is just Kaspa going back, as it should do. It's not that obscure to see Kaspa coming back down to where it is. I mean, it's definitely heart aching, but I would like to believe maybe it's just a way for the manipulators to liquidate those people who are less convinced on Kaspa, and then when it starts to rally, you'll see more people come back as well. Kaspa, this happens very often on Mexi. Kaspa suspended a Mexi specialty like 15 times in the last 9 months. I mean, Mexi is very, very shady, to say the least, and they are one of the biggest controllers of volume for Kaspa as well. Currently, they do a quarter of it, 25%, which is insane. Then you've got Gate, then you've got LBAT, and you've got Bybit and BitGet. I'm only shorting to hedge my long and lower even more my liquidation price, 0.35 at the moment. Hey, love to hear it, because it goes Superman. I mean, it's. I mean, ultimately, I don't trade Kaspa personally, but I'm not saying I don't see the value in trading it. I just don't personally do it. I trade other assets, which again I do cover in more detail in the community here. We do stuff in here like trades. You do weekly live streams. Where we talk about alpha information. We have experienced traders in there who are giving more insight as well. And there's a lot of stuff we covered in there that I think, definitely more informative than what we do in these already daily live streams that I give you kind of outlook on Kaspa and crypto. If you want to find out more about it, you can offer a free 7-day free trial. Links down in the description. Also on the YouTube homepage here, in the chat, the WAP executive community here. Come check it out. But I think, trading right now, I know that some people who are part of this community here have looked to start shorting Kaspa from its 8 cents value. So far they're doing okay. We might see it come back a little bit further. Again, time will tell. All this exchange, they buy low, but they buy, no choice. I mean, they buy low, but they'll still buy because they do see value in Kaspa. What's up, Buffalo Thimmerman? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing very, very well. Be very careful with XC. They push the price to hunt for stop losses and liquidate people. They are not to be trusted. I mean, that's the same thing with any exchange. Exchanges are not to be trusted. That's why I have a cold storage wallet. Wednesday FOMC meeting, Kaspa Rocket, anybody follow Jesse AI? I know some people in my community do. I don't follow him. I do follow him. I've watched some of his content. I haven't had the chance to watch him anytime recently though. But again, that's part of the thing at my community where we have there. We kind of talk about everything in there, not just from just my content, other content creators as well there. People are making videos and stuff like that. So again, if you want to know more about that, go check that out. But I'm not sure what he said anytime recently. If there's something he said recently, I haven't heard of it just yet. The better thing about smart contracts is the layer 1.5, not the layer 2. It keeps liquidity centralized on Casper. That's also very true. It's also very true. Yeah, it does keep her. It just makes everything just more streamlined, just better. You know, that's all I can say. Just makes things better, in my belief. But that's just my 2 cents again, personally. Of course, not financial advice. But yeah, trust me, he has no time for videos. I mean, I deserve that. You're right, I deserve that. But I will. I've been very busy the last few days. You know, in everything that I'm doing, but I will be getting around. So I promise you, Kryptoni, I'll be watching those Plan K videos in the next 2 days. Watching some of them tomorrow and the rest of them on the Wednesday. And I'll be watching equally this AMA in the background, probably whilst I'm doing work again tomorrow as well. It's tough when you're running 3 jobs, you know. That's kind of something that I'm not sure many people know about me. I do have quite a few jobs, and not some of them are just kind of volunteer work as well, but it's all in the goal of, you know, building a community, building a network of people. It's kind of how you build yourself in this in life, not even just the space, in life in general. So yeah, it's yeah, anyone else get it? Like, I wish that you didn't have to work 3 jobs to kind of make a living, but that's currently where a lot of people are right now. Hell yeah, I doubt you'll want to watching in the middle of those series though. I mean, yeah, I'll definitely yeah, I mean, I'll definitely get round to it. I can promise you now, Kryptoni, I'll get round to watching those, but I'll have them finished by Wednesday. Either I'll be finishing them after the live stream, or I'll finish them before the live stream on Wednesday. This one was very interesting with Luke. I mean, yeah, I'd also look forward to this interview as well. This long AMA. I mean, 2 hours is a long time. Although we have had our live streams equally be as long. Sometimes these streams are normally about an hour long, so what's 2 hours anyway? It's just listening and hear what they've got to say with people who are very well in tune to the space, learning about Casper. But with that being said, I think we are close to pushing the hour mark or so. So if you've got any more questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I will be wrapping up for today because I do have other things to do as well regarding more work. Can you add a news channel to the public chat of Discord? The vid/news drops are gen chat are breaking up discussions. I actually do have one. Like if you go to the Coin Factory and you scroll down to the down the channel page, there's one called there's an information category, and it's got daily there, which is where the information is meant to be. So I actually have a channel for information. I haven't really enforced people posting information in that channel for quite some time. I need to probably go back to enforcing it again, but I do agree it does pick up conversations. I should definitely. I'll try and rejig the channels so it makes it easier for people to post information in the channel as opposed to that as well. But yeah, I'll make sure they do that because it does definitely pick up conversation. I mean, obviously everyone's on the general chat, so it's easy to see. But again, if you're trying to actually find information and talk to people, then it does kind of break that up. I do agree. Had to get an engineering degree. Luckily, one job now. It was a lot of work, but now big training. I mean, yeah, big up to you, Alpaca, my man. Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do pray that I can get to I do pray that in the future, hopefully Casper can help me with that as well. I only have to work one job. I could just have my one job working 9 to 5, and Casper can just let me just kind of sit there and do what I want to do. But right now, trying to make the most I can do, and Casper's cheap as well, trying to work many jobs as possible, build the connections and whatnot to give me the advantage, I can guarantee it will be the topic of conversation after you watch the video. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it, definitely. I promise you that much. How's the global M2 today? It's a good question. I don't think it's doing too badly right now. If I check it out right here. You can see right here, it's the global M2 supply from major central banks right now. No, I don't want to see that. So it seems that we've seen a 3.8% increase or so from what I can see or since the start of 2025 at least. So it's been going up, which is good to see, climbing from 102 trillion to 107 trillion by the end of February as well. So yeah, it's looking better, which is good, at least from what I can see here. Currently 2.79%, previously 2.7%. So yeah, I mean, again, I think we're going to see this be a very, very key factor. It's going to take a lot more coming through. Do year to date. Okay, do year to date. There you go. Okay, so yeah, we can see it came down. Why is it showing from August? Okay. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, it's currently rallying up. For the last month. You're welcome, Buffalo Thing, man. Hope you, yeah, you're welcome, man. I'll try to do what I can do, trying to make things a bit easier in the community as always. I know, Jay, normally I don't trade Casper. The thing is, I had to promise my girlfriend I wouldn't buy any more Casper. Ah, I see, the workaround. Good idea, my man. It's all you're working with Web3 for the most time, for the time being. Yeah, it is. I was when I graduated uni, I tried to get a job in the industries and whatnot, and it didn't work out, just because the whole thing was you have to have experience. And I was like, okay, well, I'm applying for a graduate role, and therefore I'm trying to apply for a graduate role, and then with my experience, I'm like, how does that work? So after a year and a half, 2 years, just trying to get into the industry, doing volunteer work, I couldn't do it. So I went into Web3 and started doing a lot of stuff, kind of just for free, and hope it ends up making me money. But yeah, it's a tough thing. It's tough. Public money is about 45 days behind that. Get ready. I mean, yeah, things are definitely, the empty supply is definitely gearing up. Right now, the money is going to definitely start flooding back in very, very soon. And with the tariffs and the rate cuts, it's going to be, I think, a very, very explosive market coming through in due time. But with that being said, welcome back, Beebs. Hope you're doing very, very well. Although that's going to be after today's stream today. If you enjoy, as always, leave a like. Share your subscribe for more. If you want to know more about crypto and other market sentiment, come check out the free community. Discretion chat to my homepage. Want to be even more locked in? Check out the WAP community. Ultimately, this week's going to be quite a big week. We've got the FOC meeting happening on Wednesday. Casper, I think, again, nothing much major is coming out right now in regard to news, but I think we have got a lot more on the horizon. Again, my M2 is looking good. These sort of factors are looking good as well. We hope to be hearing an announcement tomorrow regarding the peace treaty with Putin and Ukraine, with Trump as well. That could be a big thing. So tune in for that tomorrow. And yeah, that being said, have a great day, good evening, and good night. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care now.